Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a look at BNB, helping you understand the best practice and big picture. And before we get started, I want to kind of preface the fact that we had an open signal here for the last 7 days for BNB. So to those who had held strong and believed in the system, my bear market strategy, congratulations on taking profits on 4 out of 5 targets. We probably took about 95% of the 100%, letting last a little bit ride until the take profit is achieved. So here's the thing with BNB, it's performed very well, likely a short squeeze, and I'll explain more about that here in a moment. We'll update Fibonacci retracement levels too, but before we get started there, I do want to kind of preface and kind of show you what had happened here. Well, of course, I brought in some new community members, so hey, if you are part of the community, Alexandru and Sack, thank you so much for just being amazing people. You've helped the community out tremendously, so welcome to the team. Happy to have you on as admins. But what I'm getting at here, for all those non-members or just in general, generally speaking here, we took 150% on BNB in 6 days and 11 hours. Okay, so again, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows that whole time, right? We had some concerns, but with my bear market strategy, that allowed for us to take those profits, right? So again, please make sure you familiarize yourself with that under announcements. But generally speaking, congratulations again to all those members who did that. And of course, yesterday we also took, 76% profit. Again, this is 20x, otherwise almost 4% spot from Bitcoin as well. So again, decent stuff happening here in the community, just awesome there as well. And thanks again to everyone for just being so great at just being awesome traders. So congratulations again on all the profits here. Now we're going to talk about why this is profitable and what might happen soon. Is it going to come back down? Is it going to fall, drop like a rock? Where are we at here? So let's take a look. First of all, we want to update our Fibonacci retracement levels. We got the previous ones in here, which isn't super bad, don't get wrong, but you want to try to update them now that the one-day candlestick is closed. So we'll go ahead and pull that out a little bit there. And we can kind of see some areas here, of course, of resistance, but also support. So we'll look at that here in just a moment, but what I want to kind of show you first of all is on the daily. See what this overextension might look like. Now, keep in mind, with overextension, a lot of times you still have more room to grow or more length in the overextension itself as potential reality based on a lot of different things. So let's take a look at that. Those things I'm referring to, first of all, is 50 on the RSI. So if we can close today above, just say 292, that's the current Fibonacci retracement level, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape for the price to continue higher. The reason why I say that is because that would close us officially over 50 on the RSI and give us that confirmation that we are tentatively bullish. Now I say tentatively because we haven't officially converged on the MACD yet, but we're soon to have that happen. So again, a little bit more momentum and we're going to have another short squeeze on our hands and the price is going to go even further. Because a lot of times what happens is shorts will hedge it with longs, but also concurrently, they'll also put them just above key level Fibonacci retracements. So 305 is one of those retracement levels we got to pay attention to. That could likely be our new resistance shelf. Also bear in mind too, this current support level here that was previously drawn out was a resistance level too, whereas we saw the price kind of reject out right around 298. So 298 to 305 is kind of a resistance channel. We break through that, I think we're going to be looking home free to see the price continue higher for BNB. BNB is a very, very strong coin. Okay, so in general, it's performed much better than Bitcoin in the overall sense of things, and that's why I felt comfortable and confident taking a position a few days ago, or just say a week ago. All right, so again, I'm sorry to any community member that felt a little stress, and perhaps you got stopped out because you might have had a tight stop loss. Believe in the system, it works very well. Okay, so again, make sure you check that out. But regardless of that system or however you play this, we are getting tentatively rejected off the 20-day set moving average, but we're tentatively above the 200. So the 200 is the most important thing for me here. Obviously, the 50 is equally as important, but generally speaking, when the price is above both of those levels, that's always a good sign. So we want the price to stay above. So in turn, again, a closure above, just say 289, 290 would be appropriate for the price to go ahead and continue to stay higher. Okay, I prefer to see 292 or higher, but again, that little range will fluctuate just based on the fact that we have such a large candlestick here today. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at there on the daily. Mostly positive in that regard. We've got the 200-day set moving average on the 4-hour, which is a common rejection point. That's in most cases equivalent to a 50-day SMA on the daily. And then what that does, that's showing us here that we have a strong resistance zone between 292 and once again 298. We can see the 4-hour candlestick close right there just below 298. So that's proving to be a tentative resistance level. What we want to see is the price continue to consolidate sideways for just say another 12 to 24 hours and then has stronger potential to leg up. So if the price doesn't break through this resistance level soon, then I think that it's more likely to break through it later based on the fact that we consolidate at that support. Again, no guarantees in that, but it is definitely a stronger likelihood if that were to happen. Take a look at, of course, the continuation here. We're up over 70 on the RSI, and a lot of times the key indication is to sell when the RSI breaks below 70. So we haven't done that yet, because a lot of times you can see the price action bounce off of 70 on the RSI and continue higher. We could very well see that here soon. Okay, again, patience is key. Hold tight, hold strong, good to go. I wouldn't go crazy with the shorts, but there's a decent chance the price will continue lower. All right, and the reason why I say that is because our next support level, the most recent resistance right here at 274, is essentially the bouncing point. So even if the price comes all the way down to 274, that would not be the worst thing in the world. That would allow for us to bounce off that most recent high and continue further. So if you're going to have, just say, a long position here, make sure your stop loss is below 274. That's the appropriate way to do it. The most recent high should be the essential lowest point in which you want to put your stop loss, or just below that lowest level, okay? That's how I structure my stop losses. All right, so that's kind of what we're looking at here for the 4 hour. We want to look at the continuation here and see. We are at a 9 right now, and we hit a 9 previously. So no surprise that we see this strong ramp back up. Normally it's not this strong, of course, but we had a likely short squeeze in this area here when the price broke through that resistance level, which is where a lot of shorts had put their stop loss, okay? So there's a great chance we saw this increase in volume based on that one sentiment there with a short squeeze where everything just pushes up even further, okay? So again, a lot of folks will do an overextension play where the price is overextended to the upside and short. We have some community members that shorted from the 300 range all the way down to 291. And that's great that you can do that. Just be cautious and careful moving forward here. There's a decent chance this could hold, okay? So again, it's kind of 50-50, honestly, if it wants to break below that support level or if it wants to continue to try to push higher. We could very well see a type of handle pattern where the price retries again, maybe gets rejected and goes further. Just pay attention to how the candlesticks are going to be closing here today. It's a little premature to just want to jump right into either a long or a short, because while it is overextended, BNB has a lot of strength. And if I'm not mistaken, we have Bitcoin dominance on the decrease. It's down by 0.5%. So a lot of alts are soaking up that, that liquidity. Okay. So again, keep in mind, BNB may not be finished yet. Okay. Even though it is overextended on the 4 hour. Let's see if we got a healthy continuation on the 1 hour. This is that short squeeze I was talking about there with that significant amount of volume that pushed up right there. Because as soon as the shorts got squeezed, the volume increases by default because of the fact that shorts are selling and longs are buying. And it's just this compounding effect that happens. So again, putting yourself in a position right there where the resistance level gets broken, that's a great place to take entry. Again, easier said than done. Hindsight's 20/20, but that resistance at 274, once it was officially broken and essentially previously held in place, it broke really hard and really fast. All right, so looking at the 1 hour, we can see we're above all moving averages. Everything's looking good here on the cloud, so there's no real reason to just open a short at this point. In fact, we can kind of see the price holding well here at this Fibonacci retracement level. So again, all the more reason not to open a short position, because again, everything here is telling us that longs are still viable. Looking at overextension though, we can see that we came up to a 7, got a reset, and previously a 9. So there's no doubt that it is overextended, and one of two things happens with overextensions. The likelihood of an increase from here is fairly low without consolidation. We get further consolidation, it could increase. If it doesn't, the likelihood of the price coming down is greater. Therefore, we have a 9 here previously and a 7 here as well. It tells us we are overextended to the short term. Roughly 48 hours of continuation, or just in general, if you add the 9 plus 7, that is essentially 16 hours of continuation. But for the most part, you will see runs like this happen for no more than 24 to 48 hours. So with these brief periods of consolidation, this does lead me to believe that this is a healthy continuation, and we are looking fairly decent here. But once again, a pullback could happen. I like to emphasize that because of the fact that the likelihood of a pullback is greater than the likelihood of the price shooting up from here. But I think the equal opportunity here is the price going sideways. That's why I like to wait in situations like this. So I'd wait for the price to go sideways further and then see how much further it can go. There is still gas left in this tank. Okay. Again, you got to keep in mind on the daily, we are not overextended whatsoever. Okay, we are barely at a 51, 52, and we're just bouncing off of a 9 on TD sequential. So how much further can this go? It can go a lot further. Okay, so be very, very careful with your shorts. Have some tight stop losses in place. I'm speculating we might even see 3 white soldiers here in the near future with another 2 more green days from BNB. There's a probability of that, especially if Bitcoin can maintain itself above its current level there in the 16,000 range. It's done very well for itself in the last 24 hours. Okay, so again, keep that in mind. A lot of little things factoring in, and it does, of course, help a little bit. The dollar index is down, and traditional markets are up by a small percentage. Okay, so again, a lot of little factors there, but Bitcoin dominance coming down makes perfect sense the way things are going right now for BNB. All right, so those are my 2 cents. Hopefully that made sense to you. No pun intended. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day too. Thanks so much for joining me. And again, to all my current community members, greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much for being an amazing part of my life. I love you guys. We'll talk to you later. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks again.